If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all, listen up. CarShield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that covers more parts than ever. Visit carshield.com/audio to find out how you could pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Get your free quote today at carshield.com/audio. That's carshield.com/audio.
And now, Hangar 56 Media presents Spike's Car Radio, a downloadable cars and coffee, hosted by writer, comedian, and automotive enthusiast Spike Feresten. Now, here's Spike.
Here we go. Spike's Car Radio. How are you guys? Welcome back. Wow, big week last week, fellas. That Leno thing. Well, first of all, I don't know if I guess it was apparent to everybody. We were sitting recording a show out in Malibu, and then Jay Leno walked over and started chatting, and he had sent me that clip of the him crawling on the front of the airplane. That, I think by the end of that episode, Jay had really just did that whole show by himself, right? Do you remember just thinking this show to Jay? We didn't really say much. It was fun, and I'm used to that. We have 51 other shows to do this year, right? That show went around the world because of that airplane stunt of his. Entertainment Tonight, newspaper,
TMZ, The Guardian,
TMZ,
People,
Daily Mail,
People.com.
People.com, that's right. And the clips were just wild. It's our biggest moment so far, gentlemen. Our biggest moment so far, and all we had to do is get an elderly man on the phone. Here, let's listen to this clip from the Today Show.
Jay Leno, the former Tonight Show host, is certainly known these days as the gearhead driving fast cars in Jay Leno's garage. But recently, the 71-year-old tried out a very different kind of stunt, climbing out of a moving plane mid-air. Watch this.
Is that real?
Can you imagine? Let me explain. So Jay explained the stunt on Spike's Car Radio show yesterday, saying yes, that is in fact a real airplane. Apparently he climbed out from the nose of the plane to surprise his friends in the cockpit. Anything for a good laugh for Jay.
It's like he's channeling Tom Cruise.
He had a great time. You heard us chuckling there.
Why is Jay trying to kill himself?
He just wants to raise the bar. Do something new. You get bored, raise the bar. We'll see what happens next.
Next show we have Jay just handling snakes, drinking strychnine, like anything,
But there's Al Roker, Savannah Guthrie, and the other folks.
Here's what happens next.
Commenting on have to comment on Jay Leno hanging on the front of a plane. And what is there really to comment on?
And there is no comment. Chris, Jay was really, I thought he was so nonchalant and unplussed about the whole thing. Oh yeah, I went out the hatch and that was it when he told us the story.
He's pretending. He knows what he had. But
did he? He just texted the video to you, right? He didn't bring it up. You brought it up.
As I said on the podcast, I was brushing my teeth, about to head to the Malibu Kitchen Cars and Coffee, the non-existent
the
Cars
fake
and
show.
Coffee, fake show every Sunday at 10 a.m. And he sent me that clip, and I said, "What is this?" And Zuckerman and I got there early, and we were convinced it was a key screen fake, a deep fake of some kind that he got at the mall. Like he went to the mall, and they put him in front of an airplane. Because it appeared he was where the propeller would be. I had no idea it was the Grumman HU-16 Albatross
and then it was
twin
also
aero props up above on the top wing.
And then it was also it was on the water. It was 8 feet off the water. Yeah.
And why would Jay, a kind of elderly man, be doing a Tom Cruise-like stunt? But when we got there and Jay walked up and said, no, it's real. And weirdly, it's connected to the car community. I guess the plane is owned by the Myers-Manx guys.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard that the Myers-Manx brand was just bought by a gentleman.
Yeah, it was. And a fella who I guess has
Philip B.
Yeah, he's up. We see him in Malibu every once in a while. But boy, that clip around the world. My mom was so impressed. She goes, "Hey, you were on the Today Show," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." I I've been on it 4 times in person. This time they just had my name up. But for some reason, this was more impressive than me actually being on set and doing stuff, whatever. Let me play this other clip, though. This really entertained me. Saturday night, and it's funny, Jay called right as other people were telling me. We were also on CNN. It's a long Jeannie, you know that Jeannie Moos woman?
Yeah.
Moos. She does what's considered comedy.
Yes, she does. They're fun.
She did like 10 minutes on this. Here, I'll just play like a little piece of it. Because our listeners were involved in this one. Go ahead, play this little piece, Will.
With Jay Leno, like an ornament on the front of the plane.
One Instagram poster asked, "Wasn't this a Twilight Zone episode?" When William Shatner, flying through a storm, spotted a creature out on the wing. There were no flight attendants to call when Jay Leno popped up.
There's a man out there.
There you go. That comment. Wasn't this a Twilight Zone? So now, one of our commenters.
Talk about your 15 minutes of fame.
James Bajorquez.
Well, yes, the J is silent.
He comments on my Instagram feed, wasn't this a Twilight Zone? An excellent joke, by the way.
Excellent.
It made me laugh in the moment. And Jeannie Moos, did you just heard? She did like 10 minutes of that.
That's more than they dedicated to like the financial crisis, like the UN climate apocalypse report. They did Jay on an airplane. I don't know.
It was wild.
What a world.
We broke it. We've broken a lot of news, but this was the biggest. We did the 935. We've done the new, I think we're breaking news again.
With what?
With this latest Porsche specialty car.
The GT1.
Yeah.
There is going to be an announcement when? September 7th of something. A lot of folks don't feel like that's the GT1.
I did a hard press on a Porsche guy, and he's like,
"Oh, please."
Well, it was pretty hard.
Did you brace him hard? Put him in the corner? I braced him.
2 bottles of wine.
Yeah. And, you're not going to get anything.
No. I would. No, he's like, North America, we don't know. He's like, dealers can take deposits for whatever they want. It's a separate business.
See, did you hear that, Dean? You can take a deposit for whatever you want, Dean.
Dean is who, Zuckerman?
Dean Maroney, our friend Dean Maroney, who's out there at Santa Clarita Porsche, who's taking $200,000 off of some guy for no reason, then, according to you.
Here's what Dean showed me from the Porsche newsroom. For more than 70 years now, motorsports have been the toughest testing grounds for engineering innovation, and on their way to series production, Porsche has followed this path consistently over the years and continues to do so. Porsche is now looking to the future with a cutting-edge technology combined with breathtaking design. This isn't a sponsorship, by the way. We will celebrate the world premiere of a future-oriented concept study on September 6th.
And it's going to be an electric sports car.
You think?
Yeah.
Someone sent me on the internet, on Twitter, an electric kind of 918 concept GT1 drawing that I thought was just some kid in his basement who made it.
Yeah.
You suppose, if the 918 was the 918, wouldn't it follow that the GT1 would be a partially,
or fully? I mean, remember they're all in with Titan. They're all in with that Cross Turismo thing.
So that maybe we are so far ahead of this one. Not us, Dean.
Yeah, Dean.
By the way, let me make that perfectly clear. I am reporting on a rumor I heard. I am not making this. The 935 we put together, Zuckerman. You and I were like, we saw the pieces of the puzzle. We put them together on the table. This is a rumor we're reporting. So don't blame me if it doesn't happen. But I happen to think there is some Halo car coming, and maybe
the other thing, though. Remember the guy on the Instagram Live, the guy at the Colorado Springs dealership, who's like, it's going to be basically a hybrid GT2 of some sort.
Right.
So if they're future looking, maybe it's going to be
they could be doing more than one thing. It is supercar time, which it's supercar time to announce it, and they got a couple years to bring it out, and it's special 911 time.
But the other thing is, though, remember too that Rimmons just came in, Bugatti's selling cars, Lambo's selling supercars. They might be getting orders from up high, like, don't interfere. We got to move all these out before there's a GT1 type thing. Because remember, the 918 had real teething problems. They weren't selling, and this, that, and the other. So
Johnny Lieberman just drove back from Pebble Beach. We're going to get to that, Johnny. We want a full report on everything that happened, but I have more things that I want to talk about here. Michael Christian, who no one knows, It's just a guy that messaged me on Instagram. As I've said many times before, I will respond to you on Instagram DMs. Come on, Zuckerman, please. I will respond to you if you write me. And today he wrote me something that I thought I would read on the show just because it made me feel good. It made me want to live in South Carolina. Life in the fast lane, a law that bans drivers in South Carolina from using the left-hand lane unless they are passing, took effect over the weekend.
Fuck yeah.
Whoa.
Fuck yes, right.
Finally, South Carolina is ahead of the Union in something.
Slow-moving cars in the left-hand lane on interstates have been a long-time complaint. State troopers will issue warning tickets until mid-November and then could start writing tickets up to $25 and won't include points on license. But they're doing something.
Really?
They're doing something about it in South Carolina. That made me feel good that finally some reason was being restored to driving here, because Malibu has never been worse ever, I think, than it is right now driving.
I will say, one time in South Carolina, they had a 55 go down to a 25.
In 2 feet?
In 2 feet with the 25 behind a billboard and the cop also behind the billboard.
Jackie Gleason as the sheriff.
Dude, yeah. I'm like, come on. He's like, why didn't you just slam on the brakes? I'm like, because I saw you, so I slowly slowed down. He's like, most people slam on the brakes.
You're not coughing because you were inside with a bunch of people.
No, I'm coughing because I had this horrible head cold.
God, Lieberman.
No.
Horrible head cold.
Wait, what
It's called death.
I've tested negative 4 times in the last 7 days. Everything.
Why won't you get vaccinated?
I'm vaccinated.
Come on.
I got vaccinated before you.
Don't try to cover.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you?
Did you get vaccinated before me? I don't think you did.
Yeah, no, Zuckerman was first, I was second. Yeah.
Really?
Remember, you're like, how did you get vaccinated?
I think I just didn't tell you that I had been vaccinated.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
When did you? I got vaccinated in March.
Oh no, you did. You got vaccinated.
Remember, there's a whole thing with my wife.
Mine was completed in February.
Yeah, we know what you did. We know what you did.
Be quiet.
Yeah.
End up on TMZ like Leno.
Yeah, woke wheels.
We know what's going to happen there. All right, let's talk about Raycon. No matter how you're feeling about getting back out there, there's no denying it's an adjustment when the world gets too loud. Something I love to do is create my own soundtrack by popping in my Raycon wireless earbuds. Johnny, I just gave you yours.
That's right.
You haven't had a chance to use them.
They're going right to my wife.
I gave them to Zuckerman. He has
Thank
not had
you.
a chance to use his. Don't sell them on eBay. Don't try to give them to someone nice if you're not going to use them. These, I will tell you my experience. I put them in my ear, and here's what I like. I had a little ear hole fashion, as opposed to having a white antiseptic ear pod. Yes, shut up, Zuckerman. Keep your mouth shut. Let me tell you right now, Raycon's the best way to listen. Let me tell you right now, the best way to listen. They come with a bunch of gel tips for your comfort. Unlike some other brands, they don't slip out of your ears. I can attest to that. I used them on the treadmill when I was getting COVID at my gym. By the way, what's the law, Zuckerman, in a gym right now?
You have to have a mask.
You gotta wear a mask, right?
Yes.
I belong to this Equinox Sports Club LA, which is not our sponsor. And
a free license.
20% of people
Why? Okay.
are walking around with chin diapers on.
I wouldn't go in there. You're crazy, really, to go in there.
And I went and I talked to the Equinox kid, the little witty. He's like, yeah, but
He's not going to tell any tough muscle guy to put his mask on.
right. But it's not even the muscle guys. You know, it's just a bunch of anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers, but there's no enforcement. And I said, is it like optional? The kid's like, no, I don't want to tell anybody, you know. And he's in this really unfortunate position where a bunch of fucking assholes are just like, fuck you, do something about it.
Yeah,
But
and
that's
he's
the law,
getting
right?
$8 an hour, so he doesn't really care that much.
The world is disgraceful, Ferris, and what do you want me to say? It's a disgrace right now. The truth is so obvious, but some people look out the window and they don't know what they see. Some people just think 1 + 1 is 11. They're convinced that 1 + 1 is 11. What do you want me to tell you? People are fucking assholes
I
and they're
shouldn't
stupid.
go there.
Well, yeah, you're crazy to go there. I'd never go into the gym.
Well, this is a gigantic gym.
Full of germs. Big and full of germs.
I try to walk to the other side
Sure.
of the basketball court. I am at least 40
Do yourself
feet
a
away.
favor. Go exercise at home.
Think that's working? Take a look at me. Do I look like that?
You had that kid down the street.
Yeah, what happened to the kid?
He disappeared.
Died of COVID.
I don't know what happened to him. But
He's got bilateral pneumonia.
He's on a ventilator.
Raycon gel tips. Here's what I can tell you. They will not protect you from getting COVID-19. However, they are comfortable. They don't slip out of your ears. The music sounds great. Raycons have a 32-hour battery life. They're awesome. They start at half price of the other premium auto brands. That's what's great about them. They are half price. And they come with a 45-day happiness guarantee. They're our new sponsor. We love you, Raycon. You can't lose. Here's your call to action, everybody. Create your own soundtrack with Raycon. Right now, listeners can get 50% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/spike911. Buyraycon.com/spike911. Save 50% on Raycon. Buyraycon.com/spike911. These aren't expensive. If you're looking for something to jam in your ears, they're way cheaper than Apple, and they sound better.
Good name, Raycon.
Like the iPad, the AirPod Pro. Those slip out of my ears when I work out. I can't use them anymore. The Raycons were perfect. Anyway,
Maybe you
that's
need
awesome.
ear rejuvenation. Make those holes a little bit. Try those holes.
Wouldn't it be ironic if I conjured up my Zuckerman and strangled you with my inner Zuckerman? I'm going to kill you. I want to get to Johnny Lieberman's big time because we have a lot to say about it. But first, I want to ask you guys, and mostly Johnny about this, but maybe Zuckerman, you know something about it. Mercedes-Benz has canceled their V8 models in the U.S. for 2022, except the S-Class. Do you know this?
Yeah.
This was information that appeared on a Reddit this morning,
Yeah.
or on Friday, and by today it had been confirmed. All V8s for the U.S. market for 2022 model year. The user provided a notice to Reddit and Motor Authority that was sent Friday to all U.S. dealers from Adam Chamberlain, Vice President of Sales and Product Management at Mercedes-Benz. Why are people upset about this, first of all?
Well, I mean, look, if you AMG, it's going to put AMG out of business right now because they basically only have V8s, a couple of 4-cylinders. But it's just supply chain stuff that was, I'm going to say, has been blown a little bit out of proportion. It's like they're canceling for now as soon as they can get more V8s built. But it's look, trust me, Mercedes wants to sell G-Wagons with V8s. That's the golden, cash cow.
So does that mean there are no G-Wagons next year?
I mean,
What other engine do they come with?
no, just
That's
one
it,
V8.
right?
Yeah, that V8s and everything.
So that means no G-Wagons. That's a pretty
It does
impressive-
mean no G, but it's just a chip shortage thing, and the way it's been in the Reddit, it's just kind of been blown out. To my
Didn't
understanding.
you say the chip shortage
What about it?
resolved by now?
Resolved by October, I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I keep reading it's 2 years.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, everything changed. I don't know, but I was talking to some Mercedes people, and they're
Yeah.
like, we can't say anything officially, but it's chip shortage related.
Chip shortage.
Right. Well,
It's
then-
like not having enough blow for your bachelor party. How do these smart people fuck this up? They can say anything they want, COVID, whatever. They're in the business
I heard
of
how they
selling.
fucked it up.
I could tell you how they fucked it up.
Yes, they devoted the chips to something else.
No,
to
they
use.
didn't build factories. They did these
Well-
two big companies that didn't. One
The-
built
well,
a
they're-
factory and one did not.
Yeah.
And now they're playing catch up. They never expected the world demand to explode
Well,
like this.
the other thing that happened was when COVID hit and the shutdown happened, all the car makers said, you know what, we don't want chips because we predict car sales will go down. They didn't realize the opposite would happen because no one's traveling, so they're just buying stuff.
But this has to be just the beginning, right? It's not just going to be Mercedes. It's
Porsche, it's everybody. This many chips. How do they?
I told you, I was smoking a cigar Friday night looking for, I want to get a 911, right? I couldn't find one in the United States. A new 911.
There's a big shortage.
There's no 911s. I went,
Right.
now look, I didn't look at every dealership, but I went to 10 big ones from California to Massachusetts, ones I knew. 0 911s.
Could you imagine? You're in the bunker, right? You're in the bunker. It's like that Hitler thing, right at the end. And all you need are some fucking chips. There's one guy, one general's in charge of chips for your company.
Yes.
Every company's got their chip guy, and they
You
all
want them to make a Hitler video of the chips.
Yes, and they all fail. Every car company fails to get the
Make
chip
the
thing
car.
right.
Yeah, because what happened is they said we don't want to make cars because we.
How much do these fucking chips cost?
Well, here's the thing.
It's not just cars.
Yeah,
it's
no,
everything.
but here's the
that
thing.
needs semiconductors.
So that chip then can go to a TV. Guess who was buying TVs right when the pandemic
Yes.
happened? Everybody. By the way, the
Pelotons, whatever.
Because they're new contracts, the TV people will pay the chip makers more money. So now the chip makers are like, we'll give you some chips, but we want you to pay the current prices.
Oh,
The car
come
maker-
on, but you don't think the car companies, they want to sell $200,000 cars?
Yeah.
The TVs are $200. You don't think the car company can say, okay, we'll pay double, we'll pay
Well, they
triple,
are paying
we'll pay...
double. But then the TV makers also want the chips, and they have contracts, and it's a big problem. And then there was one in Japan. The only one that wasn't in China. There's a factory in Japan. It burned down like simultaneously.
Jewish lightning.
Space laser. And then it's just
Well,
messed
you
up.
want to say Chinese lightning? I mean, this is to someone's advantage to have the Japanese factory burned down.
You're gonna woke wheel it.
Oh,
You gotta
yeah,
be careful.
yeah.
Woke wheels.
Anyways, here's the thing. I'm going to dig more into this. I talked to Mercedes. They said, we can't comment, but it's a little blown out of proportion. It's not, we're canceling V8s because we don't like V8s. Like, believe me, Mercedes wants to sell V8s.
It's not. No, I mean it's really just. I mean, if I were a G-Wagon buyer and we have a 911 coming next year.
If I
they
had-
suddenly said we can't have our GT3 Touring, that would be kind of a bummer.
It would be.
But who's grinding gears for that sort of nonsense?
If I had a G-Wagon right now, this would be a great time to get out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, everybody's making money.
Wait a few months. When
You get a car.
I wish we could quantify what the chip shortage is. Is it millions of chips? Hundreds?
that's a good
Well, you
question. I don't know.
you can. Every car has 2,000 to 3,000 of them. Just think about that.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's and this story is just beginning to saturate outside of the car world. David Crosby of Crosby, Stills and Nash was going, "What is taking so long with my Tesla?" on Twitter the other day.
Right, he's run through 3 livers quicker.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
he can get a liver quicker than a chip.
He goes, "I don't know. What are they doing over there?"
What's that sound? It's your liver.
It's your liver malfunctioning. No, but I don't think people fully understand maybe where we're headed. It can't just be Mercedes. It's Tesla. It's Porsche. It's going to be a lot of folks and a lot of
real
stuff.
quick, and here's the other thing, is that a lot of people are interpreting this by saying, that's it, that's the end of the V8 because this is how they do electric cars. And it's like, you need chips for electric cars too. In fact, you need more chips. It's all chips.
So if I was a politician, I would not necessarily be talking about energy independence as much as chip independence. And people could really get behind that. We need a chip industry.
Yeah, it's coming back, actually. And in fact, basically every single car maker on Earth was forced to shut down their factories for 3 weeks, which is like a death knell. I mean, it's the worst thing that could happen.
It's a year's worth of profit right there.
It's just crazy, yeah.
After the pandemic had already shut them down.
Yeah, no, but it's like literally crazy. Like Ford, they're gonna they're gonna miss their F series target. That for the Ford trucks, that's everything. So everyone now said they're gonna start stockpiling chips. They want to get their own supply of chips and blah 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 blah. So yeah, that will happen. But you can't do it overnight. And I don't even understand this part, but like the wafers, the silicon stuff. That's all made in China too. So you can't just have a chip factory unless you have the wafers to make the chips out of. So it's like it's a 2-pronged problem.
Well, then maybe we should have invaded them.
Well, maybe we shouldn't have shipped every fucking thing to China 30 years ago.
Even if you're in China, you can go to collectingcars.com. You can check out a very, very, very special live global auction this week. A 1996 Porsche 911 993 GT2.
Wow.
The
Big
ultimate.
car.
Yeah.
Big.
Very cool 911. 42,920 kilometers, which in miles?
That's about 26.
26, exactly. Manual, left-hand drive, color palette, Arctic silver with a black and gray interior. That would mean the black would be the dash and the steering wheel, the all-important.
Yep.
Right? You don't want gray. without that dash and steering wheel. I haven't looked at it, but I guarantee you.
$1.5 million car.
One of just 172 cars built with only 44 left-hand drive. The curb weight is quoted at just shy of 1,300 kilograms. What is that, sucker?
28, almost 3,000
Yeah,
pounds.
it's like 3,000.
Meaning the GT2 can sprint from 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds and carry on a top speed of 187 miles an hour, 3.6 liter air-cooled, twin turbocharged flat six, producing up to 430 horsepower. Same amount of torque, couple 6-speed manual transmission, matching notes. Sawed up to 9. When anybody drives one of these up to Malibu, people go bonkers.
As they should.
Jerry has one. Somebody pulled up in one at a Riviera blue one, or Mexico blue. They are show-stopping cars. You can check this car out right now. This 993 GT2 on Collecting Cars platform. The auction ends at 7 p.m. Sunday, August 22nd. 7 p.m. to August 22nd. If you missed out in Monterey, if you weren't able to get out of Europe and get down there, this is the car you need to buy. Go to collectingcars.com.
I was
Historic home of Chris Harris. He's doing content for them. They've got some great stuff there. You want to list a car, you can sell it there for free. No ordinary auction, no ordinary cars. Collectingcars.com.
I met a guy yesterday, and I don't know who it was because I was probably my 9th glass of champagne, but he was telling me he bought a car from collectingcars.com because he heard about it from our show.
Oh, wow.
He said it was the second sale in the U.S.
Yeah, we're going to do more with
Fantastic.
them. We like these guys.
Yeah. So I thought that was very cool.
They got cool stuff going on. They're fans of not just mine, of yours, Zuckerman, and yours, Johnny, and our little crew of guys, our Lenos and Seinfelds and Matt Ferris. They like our whole thing.
Excellent.
Why aren't we starting our whole thing? When are we going to? I mean, everybody else is
Yeah,
making money in the
we
car
need to
business.
cash in.
Huh?
What's wrong with us? We should cash in.
Yeah,
What should we auction off? Cars and watches are covered at this point.
Chips.
What's
We
that?
got to get chips. Maybe we can put like little cans in supermarkets in China. Put us little chips for poor, starving chip people in California. Send us your chips, your unwanted chips.
Yeah, I mean, I think all we got is that and blue chew.
He's holding his head.
Well, yeah, Blue Chew just...
We'll auction that off.
Crickets.
We're going to keep going until we get a cease and desist.
I think...
Just stop.
No, I formally, through Audio Boom, our company that sells our advertising, they're our Spotify, right? They're in London. They're thrilled with us, by the way, because they were just plastered around the world.
That's right.
With our podcast and this Leno story. Leno, by the way, told me that he goes, his friends from Australia called. That it was on TV all over the place. Anyway, I had them reach out to Blue Chew a month ago. 1 month ago. And I checked in with those guys this week, and they just wrote crickets.
We offered them. Ferriston and I would take the Blue Chew while doing the podcast. No, because Lieberman's the antidote. If either one of us felt anything, we would just look at Lieberman as the antidote.
Would that mean the Blue Chew wouldn't work?
Well, it's a risk. You have to calculate the risk.
But I don't want to sit here and have a boner with you in the room.
I mean...
I've looked at the picture of the Blue Chew, and it looks like a pill. It doesn't look like a good piece of gum. Is it even gum? What is it? Or just
Because it has a squirting center.
I guess we don't even know what this is probably why we lost this account.
Probably why. That's probably why.
If I'm going to chew some boner gum, I want it to be like bubble yum. I want a big chunky piece that I can and blow bubbles across the table. And my wife, you see that bubble? That's going to be here. This is horrible. Good. This is good.
Every sponsor just canceled. It'd be a great auction. It'd be a great auction site.
For just semiconductor. Anyway, let's talk about Pebble Beach. All right. First of all, as you know, and before we get to John, Jerry, Zuckerman, myself, we all bailed for various reasons.
Smart reasons.
Yeah. And the second I did, I felt like it was a huge mistake. And I know you and I talked about going up on Friday, but then as the week progressed, we were both very busy and we were like, screw it. What was it like, Johnny? I mean, were there a lot of people there?
Yes, there was a lot of people. So first of all, everything was outdoors.
Was there? Who wasn't there? I heard the Europeans were not able to get into the country.
So there was a lot of like executives couldn't get in from a lot of the car companies, and I believe that also means a lot of just like, wealthy people that wanted to come to Pebble to have cars, they couldn't get in either. Italians, for some reason, got in. Germans and Brits, there was not a lot. No, some Germans, but like, for instance...
And that had to do with the level of
just all kinds of COVID-y stuff. Yeah, but like, for instance, like Aston Martin, Tobias, who's the new CEO, who's German from AMG, but living in England now, obviously. He got in because Lawrence Stroll, the billionaire owner of Aston Martin now, got his own jet, so they were able to jet in. So there was the events were crowded, but I only did one meal indoors. I did everything else outside. And there was the hotel was at Spanish Bay, mask like enforced, like they literally had a person as you walked in giving you a mask.
That sounds like fun.
There was one. Well, hey, there was a great.
They did a good job. I like that place. What were they charging you for a room in that place?
Well, I didn't pay, but it's $2,200 with a 5-night minimum. But there were
it's $2,200
a 5-night minimum. Yeah, but 5-night minimum. So, but when I pulled up,
that's double what it usually is.
So much.
Double.
But when I pulled up, there was a guy on the phone, like just screaming at his assistant or something. He's like, "You gotta book me into another hotel. They're making me wear a mask."
What a schmuck.
Florida guy.
What a schmuck.
Yeah, of course. But no, it was good. There was no traffic.
Was the hotel jammed up?
No.
Yeah, there were openings, right? So it's weird. I don't know what hotels are doing. They're trying to make money by like gouging the people who are going to show up.
Well, I think I think that $2,200 is like what the car company rate. I don't think like
no.
Maybe I don't know.
I've stayed there every year for the last 10 years.
It's great.
It's usually about $800 to $1,000 a night with a 4-night minimum.
Okay, I think it was.
And then this year they doubled it.
I mean, by the way, I might be making that up. Somebody told me $2,200 with a 5-night, so I don't know.
That sounds like the Carmel Valley Inn, and I told you that.
This was a PR guy saying it was because I said $2,000 a night.
Carmel Valley Inn was $2,200.
Yeah,
and it was
that's a big room. I mean, that's bigger than this house that room.
Yeah, room.
Yeah.
How was the valet circle at Spanish Bay? That's our favorite thing.
Yeah. It was about the same. Like Fuchs wasn't there, so there wasn't like.
So that's 3 years in a row. Is he no longer with us?
Well, I think he is. I think he is with us. In fact, I heard he had a car, but I just how he usually has
Fuchs,
3 cars.
You need to tell everybody.
Michael Fuchs, he's a
mattress
major.
guy.
Yes, he's
so
a mattress
my
king.
Pillow guy.
Yeah.
This is the My Mattress guy.
Yeah, well, he's
every year he shows up in Monterey.
5 new cars.
5 new cars in crazy colors.
Crazy is a good descriptor.
Colors you can imagine. He has them delivered.
And I have to say, I like him because he's so damn happy. He doesn't take himself too seriously.
No, he's nice
laughing at himself along with everyone else.
Like pillows and mattresses, that's what we need to sell. These guys are making money.
Oh.
I mean, the My Pillow guy is out of his fucking mind, yet he's making money. My Mattress guy also kind of out of his mind.
I think he's Tempur-Pedic. That's who Michael Fuchs is. He's Tempur-Pedic.
What a
mattresses.
genius.
Yeah.
You know, the pillow guy was a crackhead.
Oh, yeah.
But we just have to put that out there.
Oh, we know, yeah.
That's factual.
That is factual.
Yes, he's admitted that. Now he claims he isn't anymore, but I think
he just acts like a crackhead without the crack. Okay.
But
why didn't My Pillow guy really should just stop with the stupidity and channel that money into Porsches.
Or go back to crack.
So much happier.
He'd be so much happier.
Happier. So get 6 new cars every
year. Stay out of politics. Get some crack. Get some cars.
Live stream symposium of their reveals one after. We'll go to that. That would be better than what the embarrassing yourself on every night.
I mean, but when you're forgetting that he's crazy.
I know, but so is Michael Fuchs.
Well, he's fair enough. Yeah, well, with the cars. Yeah, his cars are a little.
Yeah. So, but he's channeling something really fun and entertaining, and that's why we like it, right?
So the Spanish Bay traffic circle, there was a LaFerrari there.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of Lambos. There was a really great wing Countach.
What events did you go to?
I did nothing. No, I was working with Ferrari. I drove a 812 GTS, and then the next day I'm Monza. So.
How was the 812 GTS?
It's so good. It's so cool. I mean, it's the best engine of all time with a great transmission, and then the top goes down so you can hear it even better. You get 0 to 100 instantly with the best noise there is.
Were you at the Pebble event?
Yeah, I went to Pebble. That was great.
And that was it.
I did a thing with Genesis where I interviewed Sangyo Blees, the head of design, about their concept car. I think that was basically it. Yeah,
What
I went to the Aston Martin reveal of the Valkyrie Spider.
Right.
That's a car.
I watched that on Instagram, and the car is cool.
Car's
The applause
amazing.
for the car offended me.
Oh.
It's funny, like what I was going to say is this year sitting out Pebble, and I have not sat it out for about 10 years. I don't know that I'm ever going back. Like I really felt like I was with my people in Malibu this weekend. Jay was there. The cars were crappy and fun, and some cool ones, but it just looked like
It's work going there.
No,
it can be work.
It's just like a rich white guy event.
Oh, it's a super rich white guy event. Let's not.
And it's just, and everybody's taking these Instagram pictures. Not you, but other people we know, like little girls, and look at us. And it just looked lame.
It wasn't. I don't know. Look,
I enjoyed your stuff. I'm not saying you. And I'm not asking you to defend Pebble Beach. I'm telling you what I thought. Zuckerman, am I wrong about that? Did you really feel like, or did you kind of look at this
in a
and go,
way?
this
Okay,
is a little pathetic?
I've always said that I feel like an imposter there because I know I don't belong there. I don't belong in country clubs. I don't belong rubbing. I'm not supposed to be
That's
rubbing.
just because you're Jewish.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
okay, so I feel like an outsider there.
Anything
I don't.
feel. Yeah.
Right. So I've always enjoyed parts of going there, but I haven't enjoyed as much as I'm supposed to.
Did you enjoy the 917 running over the guy?
That's the part I like the most. And the only other thing I like.
Zuckerman texts me and he goes, "I wish you had gone just to see this." And I'm looking with my bad old man eyes. I'm like, "Oh, it's just a nice 917 starting up. I wonder what's the issue." And then I look closer and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
I
the
realized
guy's getting run over and dragged, and I was like, "Is that Jerry's car?" And then I really did wish I was there.
Yeah, well, I realized I was like looking at Jerry's car when that happened because
So that wasn't
huge commotion. No, but it was this huge commotion, and I was like, oh, everyone's going nuts because they started up.
For some reason, this year the stupid outfits really pissed me off.
Well, I was doubling down and sending you
minis and just going. This is
don't they understand what's going on?
But don't you understand what's happening in the world right now?
But hang on, but hang on, real quick. I was sending you out.
I'm gonna defend it. No, I don't want you to defend it because I don't want to. I'm not putting you in this group. But if you defend it, you're going to be in that group. You hear what I'm saying? I'm not saying you, Johnny. I know
you're not. What I'm saying
you're a legitimate journalist who has a right to be there and cover.
Dressing up like a clown in a year of misery. Yes. It's so incongruous. The dissonance. The dissonance.
I just want our listeners. I just want our listeners to know. Most people weren't dressed like that, but I took special pleasure in finding these people for you two.
Yes,
texting you all weekend long,
and we were laughing. Those were very extreme examples.
Okay.
They were funny too.
They were good.
But I don't know why. And I've loved the event. I've been to. I like Works, the reunion. I love the Carmel show. I like the Quail. I like the Pebble Beach event. I participate in the Pebble Beach event. Yet this year it offended me. I can't say why. And I was happy to be in Malibu with just normal idiot tourists and
Jay Leno
and Jay and. You didn't come this time, but I don't know. I just felt like that was enough car stuff for me an hour.
I mean,
go home.
The other thing is, it is so well covered on social media that you don't have to be there to see everything.
I don't know that it is. That's the other thing I was thinking about. It's there for sure, right? Like I follow you because I like to follow your adventures, and I was interested in your point of view. But the rest of the stuff I saw was just idiots mugging. In cars going,
I like to see, it's very thin slices I like to see. Like, I like to go into the Gooding tent when he's set up before it all happens. I think he's just so great at the way he sets it all up. You want those cars all so bad. Somehow in that tent, they're 10 times more desirable.
The lighting,
and they're highly designed. The lighting, the staging.
No, it's like a museum.
Yes, that's something really to see.
Yeah.
That I enjoy.
Yeah, but do you want to go in a tent this year?
No, that's it.
I didn't go in. I was there. I didn't go in.
I sat home, I lit up a cigar, and I watched Gooding and Aram Southerby. I had 2 windows open, and I got everything I wanted to see. It was really comfortable. You're smoking a cigar, you're watching the auction.
But I was at the fire pits at Spanish Bay every night with a cigar. I mean, it was really nice.
I did miss that.
It was really
nice.
nice.
Was it freezing?
No, only last night. The other nights were out pretty mild. The weather was like perfect. It just stayed like 68 the whole weekend. It was great. But
would you say it was 98% just white guys? Or
Were there any?
Well,
were there any women there and or other?
I will say
races?
98% of the women, they're unidentified as to their race because their lips are now so inflated with whatever's happening with
To
plastic
match
surgery.
the hats.
To match the hats.
and lips.
Yeah, the lips are out
So
of
then
control.
when you went inside the hotel, you had to wear the mask and you would come out.
But I literally, I would walk from my room to the pits, and that was it. I didn't stay in the hotel. I didn't even go into the Traps bar. I usually go have one drink there.
When was your last COVID test?
It was a couple days ago.
How many nights were you there?
I was there 4 or 5
You
nights.
got a COVID test there.
Yeah, I have a home one that hooks up to the...
Of the 4 or 5 nights, how many nights were you drunk? 100%?
Drunk? Oh,
Yes.
one night. Just
Oh,
last
I'm
night.
opening
Just
the
last
door
night.
again.
Yeah.
He's coughing.
Just, I've had a cold.
It's called COVID. I've had a cold.
I've had a cold. I can't shake.
And soon he's going to be having a tube down his throat.
Now you guys are going to die too. Now you have COVID. My plan has
Sweet release
worked.
of death.
Yes.
My plan has
Please.
worked.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
good
prepare.
point. Good point. No, it was. Look, was it as magical as previous years? No. It's also my 11th year. I might be a little jaded, you know.
It seemed a little subdued, but that's understandable.
Yeah, but the events were hopping. The ones I went to, like this Monza thing I did. They had a Ferrari parade.
That was cool. Yeah.
They had 35 Monzas with 35 other Ferraris.
Wow.
We did a police escort parade. We all parked in this formation on a lawn, and I was with Justin Bell, and it was great. You know, and Monza's, you know, it's the super fast with 30 more horsepower, no glass at all, and probably 700 pounds lighter. It's an amazing vehicle. So I got to drive that. It was awesome. It was Kate Upton's husband's too. So maybe she sat in it.
She married?
She's married to a baseball player who owns a
Yeah,
Monza that I drove.
Yeah, yeah.
Verlander. Justin Verlander.
Good for her.
He's big in Detroit.
And he's got that car.
Yeah, it's his car.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was cool. I don't know. I had
Thanks
fun.
to listeners from across the galaxy, all the way from Australia, Houston. Do we have a pew problem? I didn't write this. Insert space music here, it says. Okay, Will, insert some space
pubes.
music. And space music. Okay, stop the space music. And so our friends of Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation and brand new lawnmower 4.0. Look, I could read this ad, but I just gave Johnny Lieberman
Oh yeah.
all
you
this
hooked
stuff.
me. I got underwear from them.
You got underpants?
I got underpants. The box had like so much stuff in it.
So you used it, right?
Oh man. Yeah.
Go ahead. Just tell me your
I mean,
experience.
look,
Gross out Zuckerman's
all right, the scrotum's a cue ball and the taint is a banister. It is so
Come
smooth down
on,
there.
please. For the love of God.
It's so good. Yeah, no, it's amazing.
good, right?
No cuts. That's the big thing.
No cuts.
It's got a plastic blade. It does not cut you.
And Zuckerman, I have to get it for you, and you will have to try it. Johnny and I were bonding over the fact that this really isn't for anyone else but you. You feel better when you take care of this part of the body with your Manscaped
I
stuff.
take care of myself. I'm not going to
With
sit
what?
here. I have
What do you
my
have?
equipment. I have equipment.
Tell me what.
Okay, it's not Manscaped. I don't want to ruin. I don't
What are
know
you
what
trimming your
brand.
nutsack
With a
with?
trimmer.
Yeah, but you're
Oh,
gonna cut.
God,
You cut.
that's
Admit
so-
it. You
Okay,
cut your scrotum once a session.
Once in a while.
Yes,
But this
not
is you
big-
won't.
That's what Manscaped did. They get rid of that
You
nick.
cannot cut your ball. I tried. I'm like, let's see if this works.
That's
you know?
a pretty sensitive area, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we won't get into the fact. I have very leathery skin.
Me too. Yeah.
There's two kinds of balls.
Yeah.
The thin ones that you probably got, thin, sensitive hair. Then mine's just like elbows or knees. It's not
Like mine are like raspberries, soft raspberries.
Yeah, no, mine are like elephant's knees.
Yeah.
Like an old turtle.
Yeah.
It's like a turtle head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either way, you need Manscaped and the Lawnmower 4.0, and we just gave them a lot of time. Just trust us. Trust Johnny Lieberman. Trust Spike. Zuckerman, when I get this is going to change your life, this Manscaped thing. Did you use any of their ointments?
No, I took a picture and sent it to you two. And
What
sent it to
ointments?
friends. They had the ball toner. Remember
They
I
have
sent you
ball
the picture?
toner and all sorts of strange things. It really does improve your night. I have also been getting DMs, and not many, but I would say about 10 from our listeners who have been getting more sex as a result.
And it was
Mouth sex.
a certain kind of sex. Yes.
Yeah,
Mouth
tell them,
sex.
yes, good hygiene is important.
That the wife is appreciative of this. I know, but that's Manscaped.
So are
What
you
they've done.
saying that currently your balls are cleaner than your beard?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, no, not cleaner, but less
Bacteria?
hair. Less hair.
Uh-huh,
Can I say one more thing
Yes,
good about
please.
them?
Go ahead.
It's so normally, like if you take a razor with you, there's no case for it because they don't have travel cases.
Right.
And so they're always turn on, you get there and it's dead and you gotta turn.
Yes.
There's this cool travel case that it came in.
Yes.
It's awesome.
It works.
No,
I
it's
know.
great. It's great.
Look, I'm not faking my enthusiasm. I love these guys. And
I suddenly do.
Get 20% off and free shipping with code SPIKE911 at manscaped.com. Join us. Clean your balls and don't worry. Go to manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPIKE911. Manscaped.com. Your dick and balls need some help.
Oh, God.
You did write this.
I didn't. For a clean Trinity and beyond, your space balls will thank you. I apologize. It's funny to read that ad and then know that I also operate in other spheres of entertainment where if some of those people heard me read that ad, I might not be working in the
Could you imagine if Motor Trend took a good listen to it?
I would imagine they would be jealous, Johnny. Because we're making money here, and that's money that they could have. When is your podcast starting? You said they were going to give you a podcast.
Yeah, it's in the works. I got a call from a friend of ours who said, "Hey, I've been booked on your podcast," and I said, "What podcast?"
There you go.
Yeah, it's a thing. It'll happen.
They operate in an interesting way, don't they? You're their bitch.
What?
No.
What are they waiting
How
for?
are they booking people on your show? What does that mean?
It's look. I don't. The joke is
he's got a lust for work, Zuckerman.
For once.
Look who's up. The joke is that I don't know what the podcast is going to look like, but apparently somebody's booking something.
You know what? That's going to be great, though. If someone came in and said, "Look, I'm going to produce this podcast for you," and tell you to just show up, I would love that. That would be great.
That's what it's going to be.
I have to sit and think about this stuff and put this thing together.
Yeah, no thinking. It's perfect for me.
Yeah. Well, if you have a good producer like our boy Will.
Maybe we have Will. I don't know.
Headed on vacation tomorrow and wants us to get this show in. He said, "Please try to record it before Monday." Well, what day is it tonight? It's Monday.
Hey, but Will, I drove straight from Spanish Bay to one of Zuckerman's many homes.
No. You made a Herculean effort.
And you're doing well. You're frisky. I wouldn't want to do this after that drive.
If you saw the amount of coffee I drank in
I would
Uber,
definitely not do it.
Yeah.
No other adventures up there?
I had a lot of adventures, but it was
nothing worth talking about?
I mean, I'll go to the best one. So you saw the Countach? The new Countach?
Yeah. There was some there was something
controversy.
You felt you were redeemed or something on something.
Oh no, that's different. That's the
new Countach.
Yeah, the one they're making 112. It's a rebodied Aventador, $3.5 million. Yeah, like our friend Farah said, it's a cynical cash grab.
Yeah,
I just said that
looked kind of cool.
I posted. I said there was a leak of it, so I said I think the styling's a miss. I said it's not to me. It's just not. It doesn't look like a Countach. Anyways, my friend Mitja Borker is the head of design for Lamborghini, and I went to the Lamborghini house to say hi to him. And I walk in the room, and he puts his fists up. I'm like, come on. He's like, I understand, friend is friend and business is business, but let's go. Anyways, then he's like, let me explain the car to you. And halfway through, I kind of stopped. I'm like, you miss the real Countach. Like it's the one from the 80s. It's the one where it's a synonym for cocaine. That's the Countach.
You wanted it to look like that.
What he did was.
No, what did you want? What would made you happy?
I think the Valkyrie is the new Countach because what I mean by that is when I saw the Countach when I was like 9 years old, my mind exploded. I jumped in the air. I levitated. I screamed. I could not believe such a thing existed. And what he did with this, and because it had a wing and it had giant flares and it was orange.
That's a very good point.
And so with this Countach, it's white, first of all. It's a weird color to pick. And it looks like the LP500. What's the LP500? That's the 1971 design study that wasn't even the production car. And it was Gandini, and Gandini has this bad habit of doing almost a really good job, like he did with the LP500, and then the factory has to fix it. With the EB110 Bugatti, they said, we like your concept, could you do some things different? He goes, no, the maestro has spoken. And then they had the architect who built the factory finish the EB110, and that's what happened with the Countach. And then they finally fixed it and flared it and winged it and big tires, and that's the one we all love.
The Valkyrie, how many are they making, do you know?
Yes. Oh God, you would ask this question. Okay, they're making like
Not to be
100,
exact.
150 hardtops.
Right.
40 of the AMR Pros, that's the track only super version, and then 85 of the ones where the roof comes off, the Spider.
And the Countach, they'll just make as many as
112. They're making 112. But they're like $3 million a pop, so it's like
that's a $3 million car.
That's the other part.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. Well, but here's why it doesn't make me mad, right? Bugatti did the Devo, right? The Devo was a Chiron Sport in a body kit. And instead of $3 million, they sold it for $6 million, and no one cared. It was fine. They were all sold, and so Lambo's doing the exact same thing. I heard they sold 110 of the 112 so far. They probably sold 2 more yesterday. Like, what? It's good for the shareholders. It's good. Like, who cares? It doesn't really affect anyone.
Well, it affected me.
Well, I think I gave you COVID. Look at that. I love it. Yeah. So that was cool. I mean, the cars were great. I still passionately love cars, and everywhere you looked was like the best cars in the world.
It's the greatest. I'm just saying I had a different experience.
Yeah.
And I didn't miss it as much as I thought I would, but I'll be there next year maybe.
You gotta come on. We should be doing this from there.
I can't. Oh, by the way, while I'm mentioning it, I also have canceled on Audrain Concours. I love them and I wanted to be there, but my schedule is jammed now, and I didn't want to have to cancel at the last minute. So if you guys on the East Coast were going there, I apologize. We will get it together next time. I'm not a full-time car guy, and my other schedule is calling. So just know that is the only reason, but we love Donald Osborne. We love that whole crew. You guys should still definitely go. Leno's going to be there. It's going to be an amazing event.
I might still go.
Spiggins and Peabody will be there. I think Matt Farris is going to take his boat down with his dad, and they're going to be off the coast there and go see it. So there's going to be a lot to see at the Audrain Concours. Maybe we'll hopefully have Donald back on to promote it right before they go. That's our show, gentlemen. That's our show. Next week, Wednesday, I am interviewing Jensen Button, and he's showing me his new Radford car, and Ant's going to be there too, and Anstead. They're bringing the car over to my hangar in Santa Monica, and we're going to do a little photo shoot. We're going to talk about the car, and then if we're lucky, we'll pick up a show with Mr. Seinfeld right after that. So a couple of great shows in the next couple of weeks. That's it. Nice to see you. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio, brought to you by Hangar 56. Listen to new episodes every Wednesday, and be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.